All right, folks, we're wrapping it up here. It's actually the 23rd, Saturday the 23rd of March. Jamming with a little Mick and the Stones. Yeah, got. I know it doesn't look like we've got a lot done, but I've done a lot of work today. We swapped some carpets around. First of all, we got this cabinet done up. Joe, I know you were going to give me some caster wheels, but I don't want this thing moving when we're pushing on it to grind and stuff. Got rid of a couple of boxes of stuff. Still going through some other stuff yet, but this will be our little fabricating area. Got our aluminum, our metal, flat and round, and tubing. We'll have, this will be full of heavier metal stuff that's still over in Roseville. I've also got a 15-gallon metal, it used to be a Pennzoil can. We made it into a trash can a long time ago. That was at my mom's house, man, out in the garage at my mom's. That's how old that thing is. But it's probably this high, and it's filled with long pieces of metal and scrap and stuff. So that'll go here. We've got another little container of heavier stuff. I think it's over here, actually. Some pretty thick stuff Rich got from work. So our big heavy metal stuff, big square tubing, square stock, the heavier steel stuff will go down there. Some of the stuff we got to wait till we get our can here so we can stick it in there. That's all welding rod, TIG welding rod. And this is the catalytic converter from the old CR250. We took that off, and as soon as we got the bike, we took that thing off, put a pipe on it. But so things are coming around. We're making some room. We're figuring out where things are going to go. Obviously, we don't want this thing, you know, in front of these cabinets and leave the toolbox here. And the way I do things in my toolbox, Randy, maybe you do the same thing. If you've got a lift in your garage and you got a big toolbox, I roll my toolbox around. I think it's a habit we got into when I worked at the Proving Grounds out there. Contractors, day shift, afternoon shift, and midnights. There's 3 different shifts. There were toolboxes. Everybody had their own toolbox, and they were lined up against the wall. And man, there had to be 75 to 100, 125 rolling toolboxes, and some of them with a top box, some of them not. But you would when you came in at the beginning of your shift, you'd go find your toolbox, and you'd roll it over to where you're working. And so that's what I've been doing, man, just for forever, ever since then, I think, really. Not really a set place for the toolbox. It'll be like at Roseville, you saw it was in front of the garage door. We didn't really have a walk-through door at my mom's house when we lived over there. Did have one on Holly Street when we lived in Clinton Township. And then I believe the toolbox actually stayed in a fixed position. So yeah, you know, it is what it is. We're going to have to rotate things around if we're going to be able to work in here. So making progress. I sit you on top of a couple of Richie's cabinets, right? We're making some progress. Not really burning anything today. We had to made a new I don't know what you call this. But made this thing out. I mean, I could have went and bought one for like $30 or $35. But why? This is why we have a garage, man. It was kind of busted up anyways. You can see the wood was broken. But I had to bust in here not long ago. The pass-through door or access door had froze shut. The door handle had ice in it. With freezing rain or something, and I tried taking a lighter to a key and sticking it in there, and I got the ice in there to melt a little bit, but it only went in about a quarter of an inch, and it just wouldn't go in, and I had to get in here. So I just shoulder blocked the door in the back, and that's what that bucket of sand's been back there for. It would latch, but just to make sure, you know, if somebody is coming in, we're not going to make it easy for them. So now she's secure. Eventually, we're going to end up dropping a big piece of steel or 4x4 wood with some metal. We lag screw into the wall. They'll have to take the whole wall down if they're going to get in here to get anything. Now, they could bust a window and come in, but they could do that anywhere, right? I mean, what do you do? We're not going to worry too much about that at this point. But again, we found, I made a big mistake, Bob. This is 10 gauge wire, not 8 gauge. So it's 10-3 wire, which means it's got 4 wires in it, 3 wires in the ground. So I think what I'm going to end up doing, and this stuff is expensive, all of it's expensive, even the 14-2 or 3 and 12-2 or 3 is still pretty pricey. But this stuff, the thicker it gets, man, the more expensive it is. I was telling Richie, I think this stuff here is 8 gauge. And this is what I used to feed the garage at Holly Street over in Clinton Township when something ate through the wiring, and we'd have had to dig it all up, and it went under the driveway, so we weren't going to do that. So Cher got us a spool of this stuff from work, leftover stuff, right? And I guess they use that to when you see a construction site and they bring a little trailer out there, a mobile home trailer, and they got to run power to it. It's always temporary power. That's what they use. She said you could run this stuff, and I did. I didn't do it on purpose, but over at Holly, I ran it along the house through the edge of the driveway, you know, and the paver stones that you walked out to go through the access door on the side of the garage, and laid it down in there. And when it would rain, it would be completely underwater. It'd be a puddle about yay deep, and it'd be completely underwater. But that's what it is. It's waterproof. The guy that told me about it from her shop said you could run it right through your swimming pool and swim in it and not even worry about it. I don't think I'd do that, but so I think we're going to use this to run from the breaker box to a junction box here. We'll use the wire that's on here. There's about 10 or 12 feet of wire on here, and we'll put that outlet right on the wall here. But in the junction box, we'll also tap in with another one of these. You see on the back of our welder here, we made a, shoot, I think it's about 50 or 60 foot extension cord, right? I hope you can see that, right? So, and we were using that to get out to the street to weld on things, to go back to working on the trailer project stuff. When we put new hinges on, we had to weld some metal plate on and drill and tap it. But I think what I'm going to do is have a stationary outlet, and then have this stuff tap in the junction, and have it looped just like the air hose here. Have it looped up here with an outlet on the end of it. Let me see if I can find the female end of this thing. It's got to be here somewhere. Here it is. Hang on. How you doing there? Here it is. So I would have this end and a cord maybe long enough easily to go all the way over to that corner, you know, all over the garage. And that way I'll have a fixed outlet. I'll have a remote outlet, and then I'll have the extension cord in case we need to get outside, weld on a trailer hitch, weld on the trailer, weld on somebody's whatever. It just gives us that much more extension out of here. Now, the only other thing I have that's 220 besides the welders is this heater here, and it is it's nice. Although I know, hey, you got the furnace, Bob, Robert. Well, you know, if it's not real cold, you get out here and you want to assemble an engine or something over here, you could plug it in and just heat, and the heat's going to stay underneath this mezzanine real nice. It just heat this little area here, and that way you ain't got to fire up to get the gas burning, running the blower and all that stuff, and that's why I'm going to do it. That way, you know, and you're never going to be welding while the heater's on. So just messing around, plugging away, man, knocking it down little at a time. I'm hoping to be able to throw this brake system and spindles on this car just to get them off this bench top. Maybe we do that tomorrow. Maybe we do that tomorrow. Hang in there, y'all. It'll get better. Oh man, sometimes it just seems insurmountable, but Godspeed, God bless. I love y'all. Hang in there. I'm praying for you. Can't wait to show you guys the new stuff, the new logo stuff.